The budgeting process is a crucial element of management control systems, as it offers a framework for planning, coordination, and oversight for managers. This process however become a daunting task, particularly for those tasked with budget preparation. In the public sector, the budgeting process can be even more difficult, since the objectives of the government are more challenging to define in a quantifiable way than the objectives of a private company. This video therefore discusses various methods for developing budgets, ranging from the incremental method to the zero-based method. It should be mentioned that these budgeting approaches have been employed in both public and private sector organizations, with different levels of success. So, subscribe now, and let's discuss the following budgeting approaches. Without wasting any more time, let's get into today's video by first listing some of the various forms of budgeting and discussing each of these based on their own approach and benefits. Incremental budgeting relies on the previous period's budget as a baseline. Adjustments are made for factors like inflation, revenue variations, or changing priorities. Its straightforward nature makes it easy to implement, but it can also perpetuate past inefficiencies, since it largely assumes that historical allocations remain relevant. With zero-based budgeting, every budgeting cycle begins at zero, and with nil amounts. Every expense must be justified from the ground up, regardless of past spending patterns. This approach forces an in-depth review of each expense, identifying areas where costs can be trimmed or reallocated. While it can drive highly efficient resource use, it also demands significant time and rigorous analysis. Rolling budgeting, also known as continuous budgeting, involves regularly updating the budget by adding a new period, such as a month or a quarter, as the current period ends. This method maintains a constant planning cycle, which allows organizations to adapt quickly to changes in the market or internal circumstances, keeping the financial plan relevant throughout the year. Activity-based budgeting focuses on the costs associated with individual activities that underpin an organization's operations. By detailing each activity's cost drivers, managers can identify inefficiencies and target improvements. This approach helps in precisely aligning resources with the activities that add the most value, rather than simply following historical expenditure trends. Performance-based budgeting links funding to measurable outcomes and results. Instead of allocating funds solely based on historical data or incremental changes, this approach ties each allocation to key performance indicators and strategic targets. This approach therefore promotes accountability by ensuring that resources are directed toward programs that demonstrate tangible results, thereby aligning fiscal spending more closely with an organization's objectives. Value proposition budgeting goes beyond just tracking costs. It evaluates expenditures in terms of the value they deliver to stakeholders. Each budget item is scrutinized to assess its return on investment or value creation in qualitative and quantitative terms. This method is especially useful in environments where innovation, customer experience, or social impact is a priority, ensuring that every amount spent contributes measurable benefits. Strategic budgeting is the process of aligning an organization's financial resources with its long-term strategic goals. It involves setting long-term objectives, identifying key initiatives, developing financial projections, allocating resources, as well as monitoring progress. Essentially, strategic budgeting begins with setting clear objectives, identifying key priority areas, and then structuring the budget to support these initiatives. This method not only prioritizes long-term effectiveness and financial sustainability, but also incorporates flexibility. By regularly reviewing and adjusting the budget as conditions change, strategic budgeting ensures that funds are used to support the overall mission and can adapt to new challenges and opportunities. As indicated, these budgeting approaches have been employed in both public and private sector organizations. It should also be stated that this list is not an exhaustive one, and that a combination of these approaches may also be adopted. We've come to the end of this video. So, thank you for watching. And if you found it insightful, you can also check out these other videos under our channel. Also remember to press the like button to show your support, and subscribe to our channel for more content.